ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marty Feldspar, and today IWA makes history in the first ever ladder match for a Stanley Cup. We have Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Dua Lipa, and Chyna, 4 white women fighting for the coveted Stanley Cup, the most prized possession in all of America today. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. These women are beginning the fight for the Stanley Cup, the most coveted prize. We went to Target. They told us limit 2 per person. No. We got 1 because that's all these women get at the IWA. And here we go. And Dua Lipa making her IWA debut. Yes, sir. She is a lifelong wrestling fan. And here she is beating the shit out of Tiffany Stratton. And Tiffany Stratton with the Irish whip. With the white woman Irish whip. And Tiffany Stratton with a power slam. And Chyna just flexing those muscles. Getting high kicked by Tiffany Stratton. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not need to mince words with you. All these women want that Stanley Cup. It is the last one you can get in the area. It is the Starbucks Stanley Cup, the pink one, limited edition. Of course these women want it. Are you going to pay $500 for it? Or are you going to beat some ass in a ladder match? You tell me. Here we go. Liv Morgan punching Dua Lipa. You better be careful with her because she is a star, a world star. And there you see the Stanley Cup briefly, momentarily. And now Liv Morgan continuing to pummel the face of Dua Lipa. And Dua Lipa with a big kick. She learned that in England when she was on the football team. And here she is grappling against Liv Morgan. But Liv Morgan with a takedown and kicking her in the head. Gonna give Dua Lipa some CTE. Make sure she never sings a song again. And ladies and gentlemen, Chyna beating the absolute dog shit out of Tiffany Stratton. Leaning her against the barricade as Liv Morgan goes to the middle rope and just does a big body slam onto Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa is absolutely broken out there. She is way out of her depth here in wrestling. She is a fantastic singer, a fantastic performer, but is she a fantastic wrestler? Ladies and gentlemen, we will find out here. Many questions will be answered, like such as who will get the coveted Stanley Cup, the most prized possession for white women today. And now Liv Morgan with a big suplex onto Dua Lipa. And Dua Lipa just holding that back because she is an absolute pain. She has never experienced something like this. And Tiffany Stratton getting driven into the barricade by Chyna. And Liv Morgan attacking Chyna from the back and throwing her to the ground. Dua Lipa, the only woman in the ring. Will she be able to overcome these odds and win that Stanley Cup? She's rich enough to buy one, but she wants to win it in a wrestling match fair and square. We gotta respect it. And we've got Tiffany Stratton in the middle of the ring, all by her lonesome, climbing up high. And look at her. She's got her eyes on the Stanley Cup. And she's got both hands on the Stanley. Tiffany Stratton is going to win the Stanley Cup. And here she is in the middle of the ring with no one by her. And Chyna quick to come back and try to save her chances of winning the Stanley Cup. And Chyna, now she's got Liv Morgan in the ring. Tiffany Stratton back to her feet. Dua Lipa still on the ground. And Chyna with a pedigree right onto the ladder. And Liv Morgan rolls out of the ring while Tiffany Stratton does a Tiffany bomb, is what I'm going to call that one. And Tiffany Stratton hoisting Chyna up on her back and a power slam by Tiffany Stratton. And now she's doing her taunts onto Chyna. Ladies and gentlemen, honestly, who would you bet on to win this ladder match for the Stanley Cup? Look at Tiffany Stratton. She's got all the credentials to win this Stanley Cup. White, blonde, blue eyes, blonde hair. Do I gotta say anything else? White skin again. And Tiffany Stratton about to win the Stanley Cup. Nobody's gonna bring her down except for Chyna. And Chyna brings Tiffany Stratton down onto the ladder. And bye-bye Stratton. Ladies and gentlemen, who will win this Stanley Cup? And what is happening here? Dua Lipa is now getting a 5th ladder. 5 ladders, 4 women, 1 ring, and 1 Stanley Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of action you will see at IWA. And here's Dua Lipa with the quick kicks to Tiffany Stratton's face. And now she's beating Chyna's ass. But Chyna, Irish whips Dua Lipa outside of the ring. It's only Chyna in there. Chyna is going to go get the Stanley Cup. No, she's not. She's on the top turnbuckle. And she just jumps onto Tiffany Stratton. Ladies and gentlemen, no telling who will win this Stanley Cup. Which one of these white women won it the most? You tell me. But here we go. Dua Lipa getting lifted up by Chyna. Liv Morgan trying to collect her wits. And Chyna just throwing Dua Lipa onto this ladder. and Tiffany Stratton, again, alone in the middle of the ring, and Tiffany Stratton has both hands on the Stanley Cup, and now Tiffany Stratton is surely going to win the Stanley Cup. Dua Lipa's trying to save the match. Dua Lipa with the punches, and Dua Lipa has just punched Tiffany Stratton to save this damn match and her chances of winning the Stanley Cup. But Tiffany Stratton is punching her, and she just smacked Dua Lipa off the ladder, and Tiffany Stratton is going to win the Stanley Cup. Tiffany Stratton has just won the Stanley Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just seen Tiffany Stratton win the last Stanley Cup limited edition in the area. Ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful match we have just seen here at IWA. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and please tune in for more. I am Marty Feldspar, signing off for the night.